Wataweyu, Gubla, and a warm half a day from the festival village in Hagatna, Guam, home to the 12th Festival of Pacific Arts. We may be in the last week of the festival, but there is so much to offer still, thanks to the 24 disciplines the festival has to offer this year. First, let's take a trip to the University of Guam to check out the visual arts exhibition.
Hey, glad you could join us for our coverage of the 12th Pacific Festival of Arts here in beautiful, hot Guam. Fantastic conditions that we're currently experiencing. And I know last week we brought you a lot of the performances as well as the traditional demonstration and exhibitions. But this week we've decided to take you to the visual arts. And that's at the Center for Arts, the Isla Center for Arts, that's within the vicinity of the University of Guam. And this is where they're having the showcase, or the exhibition rather, for the sculpture, pottery, as well as architecture. And we were fortunate enough, as we made our way here this afternoon, we found the New Zealand contingent here. And I'm glad to tell you that I'm joined by the head of the delegation here at the Isla Arts Centre, of course, Bay Riddell from New Zealand. Kia ora, how's it going?
Kia ora, it's going very well, thank you very much. Yes, we've been very blessed and to be able to exhibit here. We've been treated so wonderfully by the local people. Yeah, it's been going very well. So we represent the clay group that we have is called Kaihanga Oku, which is Māori clay artists basically. We've been a group that has been together. It was formed in 1987. So next year we celebrate our 30th anniversary. But we have a few of our members here exhibiting. Most of the younger ones. I'm one of the older ones. But we just have a cross section of representation, and the works range from pottery pieces to more sculptural pieces, as you can see behind you. Yeah.
I understand that a lot of your work as well is exhibited here. Would you be so kind enough just to take us through a tour of particularly the pieces that you have on showcase here? Okay,
so right behind me are a few of my pieces. I generally work in big sculptural pieces, but obviously the logistics of bringing pieces like that to Guam are quite daunting. So these are some smaller pieces representing manaya, we call them, or sculptural pieces. Behind me here we have some pieces by Pyro Cornell and Dorothy Waitford. As you can see, again, more sculptural pieces. Dorothy Waitford over there. I can't comment on what they're about because those are the kōrero or the talk is with each individual artist. Kaihanga Oku, when we set up in 1987, we set up on three basic foundational principles. First of all, that we would interpret clay from a Māori perspective, right? And so how each artist addresses that is really up to them. And secondly, that we would share whatever resources and knowledge that we had with one another, because we have a saying in Māori, tō raurau me taku raurau, hei manaaki ki te iwi, which means with your food basket and my food basket we will sustain the people. So it's all about sharing what each one has. And of course the third strand to that plait was that we would seek to connect with other indigenous cultures, particularly those with ceramic traditions, and in the past we have had connections with Fijian potters.
You know, just going back to your sculptured pieces that you have on showcase here, tell us a bit about what the meaning behind it and the cultural significance, particularly in the Maori, with the Maori people.
Well, our stories with clay range right back to creation, that we were created from the clay from a pool called Kurawaka. And so in the first earth-formed maiden was called Hineahu, and so the stories go right back. Well, the symbologies that are placed on the pieces, first of all, for us as Māori, they need to be appropriate to the piece. There are some symbols that are for more common use and some that are for more sacred use. So we would not put certain symbols on certain vessels for common use. So those sorts of considerations we respect and invest in our work. Here we have some pieces by Rhonda Halliday. Her technique is she makes the piece and then burnishes it with a smooth stone to get the sort of slight shine on there, and then it's smoke fired to get the smoky effects on a clay. And again, one of Rhonda's pieces. Some more pieces over here by some of our younger ones. Stevie Hokamo up there. There's a gourd shape based on traditional gourd carving. Yeah. And this piece over here is by Carla Ruka. More contemporary approach. This is one of her, what she calls her Angel series. Yes.
I was interested to also know, Bay, how long have you been in sculpture?
I started in 1974, so 43 years. As far as we know, there wasn't a ceramic tradition within Māori. And the main influences in New Zealand ceramics were from Japan and from Europe. People like Michael Kaji, Bernard Leach, Shoji Hamada, Kawai Kenzan. And so they were the main influences in New Zealand pottery as such.